You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to another episode of Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and I'm going to tell you what, man, there's no sugarcoating it tonight. There's no getting around it tonight. There is no skirting the issue tonight. And I hope you're having a good night, because if you watch the Marlins, you're not. And they hit 100 on the season tonight. But not only did they lose their 100th game of the campaign, and it's been a disaster pretty much from start to finish, not only did they lose their 100th game of the season, but they committed 4 errors and gave up 6 unearned runs. 6 unearned runs on 4 errors. Jake Burger hits a 3-run homer in the first inning. Nothing after that. They had opportunities. They squandered them. It was actually a perfect night for the Marlins from the standpoint of this is how they've played all year. So why not lose number 100 on a night like this? Why not lose game number 100 on a night when you play terrible baseball? Terrible baseball from start to finish for the Marlins. And I just, I don't mind when you're playing well and you're trying hard and you're making mistakes. Like 4 errors, man. I mean, and you've seen this a lot lately. 4 errors, 3 errors, and it's just absurd. I got to the point tonight where I literally had to look it up. And I'm sorry, guys, we have the wrong background up there. I've been having some there we go. Things not loading the way they should. There we go. Okay, come on now. All right, I'm just going to switch it out here in a second. But if you look at what's happened in the game tonight and the things we're going to talk about here in the show, and I apologize for the extreme close-up, by the way. My camera battery crapped out on me, and the cord is gone. So I'm going to have to go get a new one tomorrow. But we got this one here tonight. There you go. 4 E's equals 6 runs. Comedy of errors is what it was. Comedy of errors by the Marlins. We'll go through it, tell you exactly what happened. We'll talk about the game in length, of course, like we always do at length tonight. And just a quick programming note I want to hit you with, all right? Remember, it's a big football weekend, right? We got Friday night. We got some Canes over here. Whoosh, whoosh. We got some Canes over here. Canes and the Hokies, the Hokie birds, those little stupid turkeys that aren't even really turkeys, whatever the hell they are. The Hokies coming to get a beat down Friday night in the Rock. I almost said the OB. Oh, my Lord, these grays are going to my brain. Now, Monday night. Monday at the Rock. It's not at the Rock. It's at Tennessee. Dolphins are on the road for Monday Night Football. I think it's a road game, but they're on the road, I think, for Monday Night Football. So you got Friday night Canes, Sunday night Dolphins, in between Marlins on both days, Saturday and Sunday, last 2 games of the season, and I'll be on ESPN Radio across the country. Game night, 9 to 1, 10 to 1 Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday night. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. But we're going to wrap up this Marlins season for you. We're doing really well. Thank you so much for watching these Cane shows and these Dolphin shows, downloading them wherever you get your podcasts. Interestingly enough, the Cane shows are killing it on YouTube and doing very well with the downloads on the podcast, whereas the Dolphins are killing it on the podcast downloads. And then we're working on it with the YouTube is all I'm going to say. But, hey, you know what? We will find those Dolphins and we will get them here for this. I'm on my computer camera, so if it's shaking a little bit, that's because my arms are on the desk. And, wow, you can really see the sun damage. I think I'm going to have to oh, good Lord. You guys are lucky I'm even doing this show right now. Look at my face. But, yeah, it was one of those nights for Miami. Burger hits a 3-run homer in the first inning, and that was pretty much the highlight for Miami. And we're going to give you, of course, the final score graphic. We're going to give you the player of the game. We're going to give you the turning point. The turning point was the 7th inning when the Twins scored 5 runs. Yeah, and what was it? 4 of them were unearned. I can't even keep up with this team anymore. And then the Twins, man, their rookie starter, Woods Richardson, he was good in the first half, terrible in the second half, over a 5 ERA. Marlins rip him. The first 5 guys get on base, 6 hits in the first inning, 3 runs, and you're thinking, damn, the Twins are sorry. They're falling apart down the stretch. They're in the wild card race, let's not forget, very close in the American League. So falling apart. They hadn't had a home run in, 67 at-bats. I don't know, just crazy, right? And they used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers tonight. This is Major League Baseball right now. 1 inning, 2 1/3, 1 2/3, an inning, 1 1/3, 2/3, and 1 inning. And then the Marlins had Cabrera start tonight. He was atrocious, and he's been bad the last 2 starts. The game against the Dodgers, and now this one. That was the Shohei game, and he was long gone by then. But 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He gave up 3 runs, but only 1 earned. And then Peterson with an earned run, and then Declan Cronin. Oh, my Lord, Declan Cronin. I mean, you talk about And now one of the errors was his. I always love it when they give a pitcher an unearned run when the run scored because of an error they committed. Now, obviously, that's stupid. And you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense because you're separating the pitcher as the pitcher from the pitcher as a fielder. And why would you ever do that? It was his own error. It should be an earned run, right? Because he earned it, regardless of whether he earned it pitching or not. And that was one of the rules of baseball that I've never understood, to be perfectly honest with you. But either way, yeah, Cabrera gave up 3 runs, 1 earned, 1 run. It was earned for Michael Peterson, who took the loss, and Declan Crone, 4 runs, not earned. None earned. He didn't earn one of them, although he did, like I said, throw the ball away. The Marlins were just bad. I mean, they were bad all the way across the board tonight. They won for 11 with runners in scoring position, and just a terrible night for Miami. Terrible night all the way across the board. They commit 4 errors. I mean, it isn't even worthy of a post-game show, to be honest with you, tonight, the way that they played. I mean, it's almost like you have to – I don't even want to say it. They're not worthy of a post-game show tonight. They're just not. And then they play tomorrow. They got, the series finale against the Twins. Maybe you can, do something to help keep the Twins out of the playoffs, play spoiler again. You're playing out the string. You're millionaires or you're making a few $100,000 or whatever. Playing Major League Baseball, you got a call up. You're one of the 70 trillion players the Marlins used this year. A lot of them are just happy to be there. A good deal of them, good number of them came over in trades from organizations, contenders that just literally, what's the word that I'm looking for? They just poached the Marlins, basically, is what they did. And these are the guys they gave up that they didn't want anymore, or at least they determined that the Marlins guys that they got were better and worth it more for what they were trying to accomplish. Gave up on those guys, and here they are in Miami. And I like to see guys like Norby and Stowers and guys like that take advantage of opportunities. I've loved seeing Tinoco, guys they've claimed off waivers who have done well. Look, you start to root for these guys. They stink. Obviously, they stink. You lose 100 games, you stink. You absolutely stink if you lose 100 games. And the Marlins absolutely stink. Let's make no bones about it. Every person I tell, hey, man, you got a good job now, I heard. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, man. I'm liking it. Yeah, what are you doing? I'm doing POSTCAST for Locked On in the Miami market. Oh, yeah, which ones? I'm doing Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat. Oh, you did the Panthers right now? We didn't do Panthers POSTCAST, and they won the Stanley Cup, but we do the Marlins. And everybody I tell that I do the Marlins, they're like, oh, bro. Literally everyone, and hey, you know what? I love baseball. I like baseball, Chris Rock. I like baseball. And I've been a baseball fan my whole life. And I think that, I was there the whole run, 97 with the Marlins, press pass the whole 9 all year. Same thing, 2003, hosting network pregame, postgame that year and the year after. And, I've been there firsthand. I've seen all the fire sales. I was at the game when Piazza got traded. Remember when they traded Sheffield and everybody else to the Dodgers to get Piazza? And then Piazza goes to the Mets, obviously. And I remember Piazza played a couple of games in Miami, and I went to some of those games. It was pretty dope. But, a lot of history with this franchise, a lot of years going to the games, the Giancarlo years, the Jose Fernandez thing. I mean, it's been tough, man. 4 100 lost seasons, though, for Miami. 4. In 31 years? Damn, bro. Like, that's just – and the Rockies are terrible, too. They came in the league the same year. Funny. I mean, if it weren't for the White Sox. Reinsdorf. It's great to see Reinsdorf losing. Like, I hate Reinsdorf. I cannot stand Jerry Reinsdorf, and I won't call him his real name. Jerry Reinsdorf. I mean, he ruined the 98 Bulls. He ruined the biggest dynasty in NBA history. He and Jerry Krause, that fat pile of garbage. And then, obviously, he just doesn't care about the White Sox. I mean, look at this team. I mean, how many losses they have? We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. Where are we at here? We're going to give you the scoring rundown on the other side. We're going to give you the boxes. I'll give you the boxes now, all right? For the Marlins, I mean, they had 3 runs on 11 hits. They left a lot of runners on base. They had their opportunities. I'll give you some of the highlights of that momentarily. But Xavier Edwards, a good year, man. He's still at 316. Dude's raking 2 for 5 with a run scored, cutting down on the strikeouts. Connor Norby, 1 for 4 with a run scored and a walk. Jake Berger, the star of the game. We'll get to that in the last segment of the show. 2 for 5 with a run scored. 3 ribs, all on that homer in the first inning. Jake Berger hits number 29. I said he'd be a 30 home run hitter this year and every year. He has 21 doubles, had another double tonight. Good job by him. Sanchez 1 for 4. Bride 1 for 4 with a double. Griffin Conine 1 for 4 and 2 great catches in the outfield. One up against the wall, running, leaping, and the other one a diving stab where he threw out a runner at second on a double play. Unbelievable job by Griffin Conine. Hill 1 for 4, Lopez 1 for 4, Pereira 1 for 4. They left 9 on base. They were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Meanwhile, for the Twinkies, Julian's 0 for 3, Correa 1 for 3 with a ribby and a run scored. Larnach 2 for 3, 2 ribbies and a run scored. Lewis 0 for 3, Buxton 2 for 4. Yeah, just a hit apiece, but 3 RBIs for played by Carlos Santana. Stop the looting, stop the shooting, stop the double scoring 2 runs after 4 errors. Okay, never mind. I don't have Carlos Santana playing guitar, so it doesn't sound the same, but you know what I'm saying. Stop the looting, stop the shooting, stop the 2-run doubles in the 7th inning by Carlos Santana. All right, I'm done with that. I don't know why, but I'm really having fun with this. We really have fun with these shows. Played by Carlos Santana. Wait, let's see what I gotta do here. Where are we at? All right, there we go. All right. So there you have it, right? All right, here we go. We're up against our first break of the show. The Marlins lose. You can see the extreme close-up tonight. Man, we're doing the show from the road. This is fun. We got a nice little studio set up here in Connecticut, and the camera crapped out a little bit on us tonight. But we're going to be all right. You see there, 8-3 Twins, comedy of errors, 4 errors equals 6 runs. I mean, come on. Declan Cronin, 4 runs, none earned. Burger Blast, 3-run shot first inning. The first 5 Marlins reached base. It looked like it was going to be one of those nights, but it ended up being one of those nights. You know what I'm saying? Last game of the series tomorrow, then it's on to Toronto. You know what I'm saying? And then the Twins are still alive in the wild card. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Still to come, player of the game, turning point, that final score graphic as well. Look ahead to the final series of the season against the Blue Jays. But, of course, you have one more against the Twinkies in Minneapolis, and you can still play spoiler one more time. You've done it a little bit with the Braves. You've done it a little bit with the Lilies. You made them wait a little while to clinch. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Wu-Tang clock behind me. My brother's a G, my younger brother. I taught him everything. He knows hip-hop, NBA. Forget it. Stop right there. Sports. You got this. Man, all right. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Locked On Podcast Network. Locked On Marlins Postcast. Let's take a break, shall we? Un momento, por favor. So I can talk to you about Booking.com. That is right. Booking.com is absolutely unbelievable. How do I know this? Because I use it. That is why. This show is brought to you by Booking.com. What do you do with Booking.com? You book trips. You go to cities. Like, for example, the cities within your rivals, within the scope of your rivalries in your division. And when you lose 100 games, you know what I'm saying? The trips are still fun. You're going to Atlanta. You're going to Washington, D.C. You're going to New York City. And you're going to Hotlanta. Did I already say Atlanta? I think I said Atlanta twice. It's New York, concrete jungle, where dreams are made. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. D.C. And what did I miss? New York, Atlanta, D.C., Philly. Those are great cities, right? Those are cities you want to go see. You can explore them anytime you want with Booking.com. They got hotels, they got bed and breakfast, they got resorts, they got family style, they got young couple style, no kids. You name it, they got it with Booking.com. You know what I'm saying? You can find the absolute perfect place for you in your rival cities when you're going to catch some games. They have a wide variety of choices across the U.S. And think about it. You can go see the playoffs, go see the Yanks, go see the Dodgers playing the Padres right now in another tough one. Booking.com delivers exactly the right U.S. stay for you. It can help you book a stay that's close to your home teams or your rival cities. You got hotels that look over stadiums. You got family-friendly resorts. You got the cute bed and breakfast. And no matter what team you're rooting for this postseason, Booking.com can make you a fan of any U.S. city. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your baseball rivals, football rivals, or basketball rivals for that matter. Booking.com, booking.yeah. On the Locked On Podcast Network. Guess what else I get to do? We are going to tell you right now, about one of my favorite places to go in the entire universe, and that is FanDuel. NFL fans on FanDuel, you can start the season with a big return on America's #1 sports book. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets with FanDuel. That's really dope, right? You think about that, you get started with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet with FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com. All right, guys. Sorry, the computer's a little bit slow tonight. We making it work, though. We all up in this thing. All right, Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. 8-3 Twins. Marlins lose their 100th game of the season. Just gave you the box. Going to give you the quick rundown here. And it really was just another game where the Marlins it was atrocious, man. There's no way to, and this kid, Woods Richardson, pitching for Minnesota, like, four-seamer at 90, changeup at 79, curve at 70. Yeah, right, dude. Get that out of here, right? So Edwards singles, Norby walks, Berger homers, Sanchez singles, Bride doubles to center, Sanchez to third. The first 5 hitters reach base for Miami in the first inning. The first 5, they get a 3-run homer from Berger, right? Then 2 more guys get on, and it's second and third. Second and third, nobody on first base. What happens? 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Now, I don't know about you or where you played or how long you played baseball or if you played or how long you've watched or you've been a fan or what your knowledge of the game is, but I think I'm pretty safe to say, and I'm pretty confident to say, actually, that no matter what your level of knowledge of baseball is, I'm pretty sure that even no matter what it is, right, even if you know nothing about baseball, you would figure this out. Runners on second and third with nobody out. What are you supposed to do? What are you not supposed to do? What are you never supposed to do? Second and third, nobody out. What do? What do you not do? You do not ever, under any circumstances, obviously, sometimes you can't help it, you do not strike out. You shorten your swing, you put the bat on the ball, you go the other way, you bunt, whatever you got to do, you just don't strike out. And Conine had a long at bat. He had an 8-pitch at bat, right? Change up, curve, four-seam, change up, four-seam. He saw each pitch multiple times, and he strikes out on a four-seamer at 91 miles an hour. The third one he had seen in the at bat, and it was the second one in 3 pitches. Now he got him there, right? And it was a strike swinging. It was high and away. Got Conine 8-pitch at bat. You know what I mean? Like fouled off 3. And he had a good eye up there. But you cannot strike out now. You've got to put the bat on the ball. And Hill, he takes a slider, and then he fouls off 2 and strikes out swinging. And then Lopez goes up there, and just 0-2, then 1-2, then he flies out. And that was a disaster because even though Berger hit the 3-run homer, and you're happy with 3 runs on 4 hits in any inning if you're just looking at the line, but second and third with no outs and scoring none, I don't care if you already scored 3, that's inexcusable. That's as bad as 4 errors. That is horrible. A sacrifice fly, a blooper, a ground ball to a middle infielder. Just about anything gets those runs home. At least the guy from third. Just about anything gets him home. Just about anything. This dude's throwing sliders like he doesn't have a care in the world, not even worrying about it going in the dirt. I don't know, man. Then Cabrera gets a 1-2-3 first, couple of strikeouts, first 2 hitters of the game. Marlins in the second inning, an infield single for Pereira. Edwards singles to left. They take Woods Richardson out. He's crushed. He's getting his you-know-what's ripped. And then Varland comes in. Norby strikes out swinging. Berger strikes out swinging. Sanchez strikes out swinging. In the first 2 innings, you had 5 guys strike out with 2 runners on, with runner in scoring position, and in the first inning with 2 runners. So 5 strikeouts with runners in scoring position when you need to make contact. That's not professional hitting. It's not. It is not professional hitting. I don't care if those guys are watching the show right now. I'll say it to their face. That's not professional hitting. 5 strikeouts. 5 guys struck. These are not major leaguers. I'm sorry. 5 guys strike out. I just can't even. I get myself in trouble maybe a little bit, but you know what? I don't care because that's inexcusable. That's not a major league hitter. 5 guys, that's not a major league offense. 5 strikeouts in those 2 innings with runners in scoring position when you just need to put the bat on the ball, especially second and third, nobody out. A pop-up, a blooper, a fly ball, a ground ball to a middle infielder, a chopper to a third or first baseman, just about anything, a well-placed bunt, a base hit of any kind, a home run, obviously. Any of those things get the run home, any of them, and they have no outs and they can't do it, and they're striking out all over the place, and they're committing errors, and they're still throwing the ball all over the field. Even Conine, when he got that double play, he almost threw that ball away. It's just not. Look, these guys aren't necessarily even major leaguers. They were traded from other teams that, like I said, poached the Marlins. And the Marlins, you can't get poached if you're allowing yourself to be poached. Like, they didn't get poached. They set up a store. They set up a pop-up shop for all the contenders in Major League Baseball. That's pretty much what they did. They set up a pop-up shop. And they said, hey, what do you want? Come on and get Tanner Scott. Come on and get Luis Ariz. Come on and get, they DFA'd Tim Anderson. Come on and get Jazz Chisholm, and who just infused so much life into the Yankees clubhouse. Jeter loved him, and he loves him so much he's on the Yankees, and he's been a big difference maker for that team, although they're struggling lately, and they can't put the Orioles away. That's another point, but we're up against the break. On the other side, we are going, man, they're historically terrible. I don't want to attack them that much. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the rest of these terrible innings real quick. The Marlins in the first 2 innings, that's the game right there. I don't care what happened later. That's the game. You let them stay alive. They have life. And there's no run scored, and no run scored, and no one scored, and they have life. Cabrera, bottom of the second, another 1-2-3 inning. You think it's going to be an easy night for him. The Twins have been struggling offensively. Marlins in the third. Conine singles, Lopez singles. Conine does still leave 2 more on base in the third, even though that was with 2 outs. Twins, bottom of the third, they got on the board, scored 2. They got a 2-run single from Lonnock, scoring Castro and Julian. Marlins in the 4th inning. Norby singles. Nothing doing there. Twins bottom of the 4th. Buxton hits a 450-foot bomb to left center. First home run they've had in like 67 at-bats. Then they go 1-2-3 after that. Then the Marlins go 1-2-3 in the 5th. First time all game. Cabrera still pitching in the 5th for the Marlins. Nothing doing there. Julian safe on a fielding error by Bride. That was terrible too. And then Norby with an error. I can't even. And then when Conine doubled Correa off second, it was still 3-3. He almost threw that ball away. That's the play I was talking about. Marlins 1-2-3 in the 6th against Sands. Twins 1-2-3 in the 6th against Peterson. Then in the 7th, the Marlins. Berger gets a 1-out double, strikeout. The next guy strikes out, Sanchez. What are you doing, man? Like, why does everyone strike out? You've got to find a way to put the bat on the ball and put it in play in those positions, man. This is ridiculous. I can't even talk about this anymore. It's disgusting. I mean, the 7th, 5 runs scored for the Twins. I'm going to have to hit the 7th inning on the other side. Meanwhile, the Marlins, nothing going on offensively for the rest of the game. Nothing doing. They go 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Ooh, all right, we're going to go through the 7th inning because that was the inning of all innings. A disaster, absolutely, for the Miami Marlins. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. It's right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I want to thank you for making us your first watch/listen of the day every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Locked On Sports Miami, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Give you a couple of programming notes on the other side, as well as, those nice little graphics we have. The final score, the turning point, player of the game. Can you pick a player of the game on a game that was this bad? Yeah, you can, because he had a home run and a double. And we are going to do that next. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. 8-3 Twins still alive. We're going to update the AL and NL wildcards, give you a score from the Padres and Dodgers, hit the scoreboard, hit the playoffs. Well, we got a lot to do. We better hurry. Locked On Marlins postcast. Stick around. Hang out. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, guys, here we go. I got to tell you about my friends at Game Time. You know I love – what time is it? Game Time. That's right. Game Time is unbelievable. Game Time Picks. You guys heard of Game Time Picks? You know all about Game Time. Real quick, Cliff Notes. You can see everything you want to see in the app when you're buying tickets to a sporting event, show, comedy, whatever. You name it, concert. They got it at Game Time, right? But here's the thing. The best part about it is you get to see your view from whatever seat you're going to pick right there in the app. They give you everything you need. They give you 110% of your money back if you find it cheaper anywhere else. It's protected by the best protection plan in the whole entire industry. They are the industry leaders, and this is further illustration and proof of that. And it's called Game Time Picks. It's a new feature. With Game Time, it makes getting tickets for your favorite live event even easier. And how is that possible? You're like, wait a minute, Grease, how could it be even easier with Game Time? Because it's already so easy. Like, what could they possibly do to make it any easier? Well, guess what, my friend? I am about to put you on game. It's called Game Time Picks, and what it does, it filters out the fluff. Wouldn't you love it if you could do that everywhere in life? And what that means is that when it filters out the fluff, it only shows you the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. All you do is go ahead and and enter your parameters, and you let them know what you want. They'll give you only the best possible options for you. And that, to me, is the best thing about it. Personal experience. You know what I mean? I loved going to games as a kid. It was hard getting tickets. You had them mailed to you or you waited at the box office. Forget it. Game Time makes it so you buy them right there on the app while you're in line, wherever you are. You could be anywhere. You could be in the car, in the train, on your way into the stadium. You buy them anywhere. You can do it way in advance. You can do whatever you want with GameTime.com. You get the curated deals that make it easier to find the great seats, and you just have to love Game Time. It's one of the best things that I've ever been a part of. I enjoy it, like doing these commercials for these great companies on the shows that we're doing here. I mean, the seat views, the lowest price guarantee, the great ticket coverage, and here's what you're going to do to take advantage of everything they have to offer for you at Game Time. That's right. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. What time is it? Game Time on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehopper, call me Grease. Where'd that other window go? Did I shut this thing? No, I didn't. Good Lord. All right, man. We got a nice audience going here. A little extra love for Game Time. There we go. Things are sticking a little bit. There we go. Jim Greasehopper, call me Grease. I just want to tell you how happy I am to have you here with me every day on the Locked On Marlins Postcast. Friday, you ain't got no job. You ain't got ish to do, but watch the Canes. The Canes are going to mob the Hokies on Friday at the Rock. It's going to be a big-time game. The Canes are going to be flying all over the field. Conference opener. They're ready to stake that claim, win the ACC, make the playoff, and go on and play for a national championship. I think this team could actually do it this year with that offensive line, that defensive line, all those weapons all over the field, the running backs, 2 big bruisers, 2 big play shorter guys, smaller guys, and, of course, the great Cam Ward. And the former Cane, Mario Cristobal, the great offensive lineman and a terrific coach, got the job at Oregon after doing great at FIU. Back home, and the Canes looking really good. Number 7 in the nation right now. The Dolphins on Monday Night Football taking on the Tennessee Titans, I believe. That'll be Monday Night Football for Miami Dolphins. I remember it was Houston Oilers. And they used to be. Titans used to be the Oilers. There you go. It all comes full circle in the news tonight. Full circle. Look at the Wu-Tang clock. I have to point out the Wu-Tang clock again. That's my brother's. I raised him well. I taught him well. He's 7.5 years younger than me. All right, let's hit the graphics real quick. Then we'll hit the scoreboard. Then we'll hit the playoff scenarios. And we be out. We'll hit the pitching matchup for tomorrow. It's Beozo for Miami. All right, the star of the game. Dun, 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 dun. Are you ready? Who's the star of the game for the Marlins? Who do you think would be the star of the game? To me, there's only one. There's no big bullpen star tonight. Nobody did anything tremendous other than... I'm waiting. Jake Berger, 3-run homer in the first inning, double after that. He was voted MVP by the South Florida chapter of the Baseball Writers Association. Jake Berger is the star of the game tonight. We should have some applause. All right, that was the best thing. He peaked in the first inning, the Marlins did. The moment. These are the moments. I thank God when I'm alive. All right, here's the moment. Twins score 5 in the 7th, 4 unearned, and there is Carlos Santana with a 2-run double. Carlos Santana, stop the looting, stop the shooting, stop the 2-run doubles in innings where you give up 4 unearned runs. And here's the final one. 8-3, Minnesota beats Miami. There you have it. They finally win a game in Minnesota. They finally hit a home run. They finally got some big hits, runner scoring position. And there you have it. All right, let's take a look at the Marlins tomorrow against the Twinkies. 7:40 start, Beozo and Festa in that one. And they've already lost their 100th, but they got to do something. I'm going to give you the Twinkies playoff scenarios in a minute. First of all, this game, the total's 8.5. It is -110 on the over, -225 on the under. And let's see, Miami is +195 on the money line. Twins -235. The total's 8.5, by the way. The over's -120. The under's even. I was wrong on that. And that's it. It's Beozo, 3-4, 3.82. He's been the Marlins' best pitcher lately against Festa, 2-6 with a 4.80. David Festa. Marlins hoping to have a fiesta on Festa. Festivus for the rest of us tomorrow night. All right, here we go. You ready? Bing, bada, don, dada. Look at the Dodgers taking the lead on the Padres, getting ready to shut this down. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. The Dodgers have sucked against the Padres this year, BT Dubs. Here we go. All right. It is 4-3 Dodgers in the top of the 9th. 2 outs, 2 balls, and a strike. And who's up? I can't see who's up right now, but it's 4-3 Dodgers in the ninth inning. If they put this one away and win this game, that's going to salt away that division for them. So the Dodgers and the Padres will be a wild card with Luis Arraez and Tanner Scott ready. But the Padres have owned the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers can hold on for this win. That's a wrap. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap in that division with the Dodgers winning tonight. Mariners 8, Astros 1. The Astros already clinched. How did they do it? They started 12-24. Cheating scumbags that they are. They're not banging on trash cans anymore, at least. I can't stand the Houston Astros, by the way. I cannot stand them. I really cannot stand the Houston Astros. I don't think I've said that enough times. Mariners win 8-1. They're still in the playoff race. Cubs lose to the Phillies tonight. Phillies finally get a win. They've been struggling lately. 9-6 Philly, the East champions in the National League, wire to wire, pretty much for them. Probably in the he's not going to win. What am I saying? Shohei is the MVP. Bryce Harper was in that race with Shohei neck and neck for a while. It'll be Shohei who wins the MVP, or it'll probably come in second. Bryce will be third. Come on, you know what I'm saying? So Guardians won their 92nd game. They're pushing for home field throughout the playoffs. 92 wins for the Guardians. They beat the Reds 5. Jose Ramirez with a 3-run homer there. He's a beast, obviously. 2-1 Pirates beat the Brewers. Brewers are 90-68, already clinched the Central in the National League. Tigers 7-1. That wild 1. Tigers 1. Mariners 1. Royals 1. 2-3 zip over the Nationals. That, like I said, is popping, pimping. 9-7 Orioles beat the Yankees. 17 hits. The Yankees have no pitching. I grew up a Yankee fan, and I'll say, I know it's a Marlins show. The Yankees aren't going anywhere in the playoffs. Anyone who thinks the Yankees are winning anything in the postseason, I would love to bet you pitch. They're get out. They might win a series, and that's what he does every year in the playoffs and hit maybe less. Red Sox lost to the Blue Jays 6-1. Anytime you know the Yankees aren't going to win the World Series, it's always a bonus. Red Sox missed the playoffs. White Sox 4, Angels 3. The White Sox won a game. What is that number? 38 games. The White Sox. Unbelievable. Marlins, Twinkies, who cares, really? 5-2 Cardinals. 8-2 Diamondbacks over the Giants. Those playoff teams balling out. And then Rangers, 5-1 Rangers at the A's playoff. They're going to be the Sacramento A's for 3 years. Fisher's a disgrace. Guys were 3 points on the gap. It's taken a once great organization and run it. And they used to have Jackson, Joe Rudy, Raleigh Fingers, the Bash brothers, Canseco, McGuire, and Ricky Henderson stealing bags with my boy Bobby Welch winning 27 games in the Cy Young. Come on, these are the Oakland A's. Giambi, Tejada, they're going to be in Vegas. They tore down the Tropicana for that. Don't even get me started. Mets Braves postponed. They're going to play a double. Quick, get out of here. Let's take a look at. We did that. We're looking at the standings now. Here we go. Games. Oh, it just went final in LA. Thanks for playing, San Diego. You're a wild card. And Shohei's the MVP, obviously. Not standings. The standings. It's the last thing we're going to do. And, of course, it's not loading. You know what? We'll do it on the phone. We're nothing if not resourceful around here, guys. You know this, right? So here we go. We're going to pull the scores up. There we go. The standings. All right. So they pulled up like 25 minutes later. It's like the old AOL days. All right. Here we go. All right. You ready? Yankees clinched the playoff spot. The Orioles are 4 games out with 4. I mean, it's just stupid. The Orioles aren't winning the division. I don't care. The Yankees will win one more game. So the Yankees are going to win that division. Orioles are going to win the wild card. Guardians already clinched the Central. Astros already clinched the West. We'll get to more wild card stuff in a minute. Phillies, Brewers already clinched. Dodgers 2-game lead, 3 games now on San Diego because they won tonight. That's a big loss by the Padres and a huge win for the Dodgers. I don't think the Yankees or the Dodgers have the pitching to make it. I love the Phillies. I really love the Phillies this year. I think the Phillies, this might be their year. All right, Orioles, Royals, Tigers, Twins, Mariners. All within. Now, obviously, the Orioles are going to be the wild card. They're not going to beat the Yankees division. Calm down. They're horses. Royals, Tigers, Twins, Mariners. The Royals and Tigers are tied at 84 and 74. Twins 2 games back. Mariners 2.5. You don't have many games left. They have 4 games left. Yeah, it's not happening. It's going to be the Royals, Tigers, and Orioles. All right, and then in the National League, you got the Pods, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, and the Braves. Mets 87 and 70, Diamondbacks 88 and 71. They're tied, and then the Braves at 86 and 71, a game back. They got a doubleheader still against the Mets. They got another game against the Mets, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how that shakes out. But the National League playoffs are going to be so dope. Mets, Diamondbacks, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers. Are you kidding me? That is stacked, man. That is loaded. The American League is too, but nobody can pitch in the American League. And that's pretty much always been the case, even though there really is no American League and National League style anymore when you have DH in both leagues and what have you. Anyway, I'm out of breath. The show's over. I went long. They always love it when I go long. They get bonus time from me. But I'll tell you this. The Marlins are historically bad. I've had a lot of fun watching them this year. I've had a lot of fun doing the shows for you, and I'm going to hide that and show my ugly face again to wrap up the show. But 8-3 Twins, terrible night. 4 errors, man. 4 errors, 6 unearned runs. This team is terrible. 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. 2nd and 3rd in the first inning. They can't even, with nobody out, and they can't score a run. You can't hit a chopper to shortstop or second. You can't pop a ball up or hit a fly ball. You can't hit nothing. Nothing. In the second inning, same thing. So just a disaster start to finish for the Marlins tonight. And it is what it is. That's what the season's been. But it has not been a disaster for the Miami Hurricanes. We were here Friday. Canes, Hokies. What the hell is a Hokie anyway? A bird that gets shot. That's what a Hokie is. And that's going to happen Friday at the Rock when the Canes take on the Virginia Tech Hokies in the ACC opener. We'll be here at the game of the POSTCAST. Monday Night Football coming up. Dolphins, Titans. That's going to be awesome. I don't know who's going to play quarterback. That's another story. Tom Brady. Where's Tom Brady? Paging Tom Brady. I mean, he lives in Miami. He lives in Miami. You don't know about Tua, though. We'll have to see. But if Tua's out for the year, hello, Tom Brady. Hello. He can still throw 20 touchdowns in this league right now. He could get off the couch right now and throw 4 TDs for Miami in a game this week. And then, of course, you have the Marlins wrapping up the season. Tomorrow, 1 more against the Twins. And then 3 over the weekend in Canada, against the Blue Jays up in Drake country. And by the way, Drake turned down the Super Bowl twice. Just because Kendrick got the Super Bowl doesn't mean anything. Drake turned it down twice. For all you people who think Kendrick won, I think no one won. I think hip-hop lost. I think entertainment lost. I think anything related to manhood lost in that beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. See what we're talking about here? The Marlins lost 100 games, and I'm supposed to be talking about them. But what else can we say about a team so historically bad and as terrible as they were tonight? It was just, I mean, you're going to lose your 100th game of the season. At least you did it right, Miami. At least you did it right. 4 errors, 1 for 11 scoring position. 2nd and 3rd, first inning, no outs, can't get a run home. At least you did it right. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. You're Locked On Marlins POSTCAST on your Wednesday night. I'm loving Connecticut. I grew up here on a little trip, got a nice studio in my brother's house. Check it out, the Wu-Tang clock. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing. So that's what I'm doing here. Be here tomorrow night, Friday night Canes, Monday night Dolphins. I'll be on ESPN Radio both nights over the weekend. Game night 9-1 and 10-1. Gonna be dope, man. And look, the Marlins, it's gonna be interesting to see next year who makes the team, what the rotation looks like. It's gonna be a much better year next year. Just wait till next year. We'll be back tomorrow. Fish fans, keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. We are out.